Imagine it is the year 1879. There are no modern hospitals, no antibiotics, no blood banks, no surgical gloves. In many parts of the world, a cesarean section is considered one of the most dangerous operations a woman can face. Doctors fear it. Families fear it. Most mothers do not survive. But deep in the heart of Africa, something extraordinary is about to happen. A young missionary named Robert William Felkin walks toward a small village hut. Inside, a woman is fighting for her life. What he is about to witness will challenge everything the world thinks it knows about medicine. And more than a century later, people are still asking the same question. How is this even possible? This is the forgotten story of the cesarean section. A story of courage, knowledge, and a medical mystery that shocked the world. Today, cesarean sections are performed every day. Millions of babies are born this way each year. Doctors are highly trained. Hospitals are equipped with advanced technology. Most families see the procedure as safe and routine, but it was not always that way. In the 1800s, a cesarean section was often a death sentence. The operation involved cutting through the mother's abdomen and womb to remove the baby. The surgery itself was difficult, but the real danger came afterward. Heavy bleeding, deadly infections, severe shock. Without antibiotics, even a small infection could become fatal. Without modern surgical tools, controlling blood loss was incredibly difficult. Many doctors refused to perform the operation unless they believed the mother had no chance of surviving naturally. For centuries, cesarean sections carried a terrifying reputation. People prayed they would never need one. Then, in 1879, a young missionary would witness something that would leave the medical world stunned. His name was Robert William Felkin. At the time, Felkin was a medical student and missionary traveling through East Africa. He was curious about the people he met. He wanted to learn about their traditions, their culture, and their way of life. His journey eventually brought him to the Kingdom of Bunyoro, located in what is now Uganda. It was a thriving African kingdom with deep traditions and generations of accumulated knowledge. One day, villagers informed Felkin about a woman struggling during childbirth. The labor had become dangerous. The baby could not be delivered naturally. Felkin followed them, expecting to witness a tragedy. Instead, he would witness one of the most remarkable moments in medical history. Picture the scene. A small hut stands beneath the African sky. Family members wait anxiously outside. Inside, a young mother lies in pain. The atmosphere is tense. Everyone understands the risk. But nobody panics. The local healers move with confidence. They have done this before. Felkin watches carefully. Every detail catches his attention. The woman is given banana wine, not simply as a drink. It helps relax her and reduce pain. The healers wash their hands. They carefully clean the woman's abdomen. Then the operation begins. A sharp blade makes an incision. The room falls silent. Moments later, the baby is delivered. But what shocks Felkin is not the surgery itself. It is how organized everything appears. Assistants work together with the surgeon. Bleeding is carefully controlled. The wound is treated methodically. Every step follows a clear procedure. This is not guesswork. This is not luck. This is not a desperate experiment. It is a practiced medical technique, a system refined through experience. The more Felkin watches, the more amazed he becomes. Back in Europe, many surgeons are still struggling with infection and poor surgical outcomes. Yet here, in a rural African kingdom, he is witnessing a cesarean section performed with a level of skill he never expected to find. Then comes the moment nobody saw coming. The mother survives. The baby survives. Days pass. The wound begins to heal. There are no signs of severe infection. The recovery is remarkable for that era. Felkin can hardly believe what he has witnessed. Everything he thought he knew about medicine is being challenged before his eyes. He immediately begins taking detailed notes. He records every observation, every step, every technique, because he knows people back home may struggle to believe his story. Years later, Felkin publishes his observations. Doctors across Europe read his report. Many are fascinated. Others are skeptical. Some simply refuse to believe it. Could an African kingdom really possess surgical knowledge that rivaled or even exceeded some practices being used in Europe at the time? The evidence suggested yes. Felkin described hand cleaning, pain management, bleeding control, careful wound treatment, teamwork during surgery, and most importantly, successful recovery. His report spread through medical circles, and quickly became famous. For many readers, it forced an uncomfortable realization. Perhaps advanced medical knowledge was not limited to Europe. Perhaps innovation had been developing in places the world had ignored. The story challenged long-held assumptions, and it opened people's eyes to a much bigger truth. The history of cesarean sections is far older than most people realize. Stories of abdominal births appear in ancient legends from many civilizations. For centuries, however, these operations were usually performed only when a mother had already died or was close to death. Saving both mother and child was extremely rare. That is what made the operation witnessed by Felkin so extraordinary. It demonstrated that somewhere in the world, people had developed practical ways to improve survival. It showed that medical innovation could emerge from different cultures independently. And it reminded the world that knowledge does not belong to a single civilization. History is often told through the achievements of famous cities, powerful empires, and celebrated institutions. But some of humanity's greatest breakthroughs happen far from the spotlight. Sometimes they happen in places nobody expects. The Kingdom of Bunyoro reminds us that intelligence, creativity, and innovation can be found anywhere. Great ideas do not care about borders. They do not care about race. They do not care about status. They simply emerge wherever curious minds are willing to learn, experiment, and improve. In 1879, Robert William Felkin walked into a village hut expecting to witness a medical emergency. Instead, he witnessed a moment that would challenge the world's understanding of surgery. A moment that still fascinates historians today. The next time you hear about a cesarean section, remember this. Long before modern operating rooms, long before advanced machines, long before antibiotics transformed medicine, a remarkable operation took place in a small African kingdom, and one young missionary happened to be there to see it. The question is not whether the world learned from that moment. The question is, how many other forgotten medical breakthroughs are still waiting to be rediscovered? If you enjoyed this journey into hidden history, subscribe to Human Frontier and join us as we uncover the incredible stories that shaped humanity and changed the world forever.